What if two of the most insane villains in the world met? On one side, Pennywise, the demonic clown who feeds on fear, and on the other, Joker, the agent of chaos who turns madness into his greatest weapon. It would be a clash of disturbed minds, where fear and insanity face off in a unique psychological battle. Could Pennywise terrorize the Joker, or would the clown of crime laugh in the face of terror and use chaos to his advantage? Today, let's explore this insane theory and imagine what a collision between fear and madness would look like. Pennywise, known as the dancing clown, is much more than just a terrifying being from another world. He is a cosmic entity that uses fear as his greatest weapon and source of power. Appearing in Stephen King's It, Pennywise awakens every 27 years in Derry, Maine, to feed on the deepest fears of his victims, often children, as they are more susceptible to psychological terror. His shape-shifting ability allows him to take the exact form of his prey's worst nightmares, making him an unstoppable force that adapts to individual fears. What makes Pennywise such an overwhelming threat is his ability to manipulate not only people's minds, but also the reality around them. He can distort the environment, create vivid illusions, and make his horrors almost indistinguishable from reality. The line between what is real and what is a manifestation of fear becomes blurred for his victims, increasing their panic and allowing him to grow stronger with each moment of terror he creates. In addition to his illusions and transformations, Pennywise is an incredibly patient creature. He delights in tormenting his victims for long periods before consuming them, savoring every drop of fear they produce. It is a form of slow, agonizing mental torture that emotionally and psychologically weakens people until they are completely at his mercy. His attacks are not direct, but are carefully planned to maximize despair. However, Pennywise is not invincible. He relies on pure, unfiltered fear to thrive. When his victims stop being afraid or find a way to confront their fears, his power diminishes significantly. This is why, historically, Pennywise has been defeated by children who, by joining forces and overcoming their fears, managed to face him. This reliance on uncontrollable fear could be a weakness in a confrontation against the Joker, as the latter has a mind practically impenetrable to traditional terror. In the case of the Joker, Pennywise would face an unusual challenge. The DC Universe villain does not have a typical fear that Pennywise can exploit. Unlike his usual victims, the Joker does not fear pain, death, or madness. He is chaos incarnate, and no matter how much Pennywise tries to invoke the Joker's greatest fears, he would find unexpected resistance. Pennywise would need to reevaluate his tactics, for by trying to use fear to control someone like the Joker, he would be playing in a very different field than he is used to. While Pennywise thrives on fear, Joker reigns in chaos and unpredictability. The iconic DC villain, Batman's sworn enemy, is known for his twisted mind, where logic has no place, and the concept of fear is almost irrelevant. Joker not only accepts madness, but uses it as a weapon, turning chaos into his trademark. His desire to see the world collapse, with no concern for consequences, makes him a formidable opponent, even without supernatural powers. Joker's great advantage lies in his total immunity to traditional terror. Most people feel fear due to an instinct of self-preservation, but Joker does not care about his own safety or survival. He embraces the absurdity of life and laughs in the face of death. Unlike other villains, he does not seek power or control through fear, but rather pure and simple destruction. For him, chaos is the only constant truth, and he manipulates this madness to generate panic and destruction wherever he goes. His unpredictability is also an advantage against any attempt at psychological manipulation. Pennywise, who relies on the predictability of fear, would struggle to face someone whose mind operates so chaotically. Joker is a character who enjoys terror, which could neutralize Pennywise's tactics. If Pennywise tried to transform into something the Joker feared, he would likely find it funny or interesting rather than terrifying. Joker's madness is his natural defense against any form of psychological terror. Furthermore, Joker is a master at manipulating not only situations, but also the people around him. If Pennywise tried to generate chaos in Gotham, for example, Joker would quickly recognize the potential of this situation to further his own anarchic agenda. He could turn the fear and panic caused by Pennywise into an opportunity to create even more disorder, leading the city to collapse. His ability to control chaos to his advantage, while Pennywise tries to control it through fear, would be a crucial difference. Lastly, Joker's relationship with fear is radically different from that of a common person. He is not merely fearless, he laughs at fear. turning it into something that can be used against others. Joker would be able to reverse Pennywise's attempts, making fear into a joke, and perhaps even frustrating the supernatural being for not being able to provoke the terror that usually strengthens him. This puts Joker in a unique position, where, instead of being a victim of fear, he becomes a chaotic agent, further increasing the despair around him without ever being truly affected. When Pennywise and Joker finally meet, the clash would not be just a physical fight, but a psychological and strategic battle between two of the greatest manipulators the entertainment world has ever seen. Pennywise, accustomed to easily terrorizing his victims, would encounter an unusual barrier in Joker's chaotic and unpredictable mind. The clown from It relies on fear to dominate, but Joker, as the master of madness, does not fear traditional terror and would be almost impossible to control with Pennywise's usual tactics. Pennywise could try to transform into the most terrifying things possible to attack Joker, but this would prove ineffective. Joker does not have conventional fears, and any monstrous or terrifying form would be met with laughter. For Joker, everything is a joke, and even the distortion of reality, which would normally drive anyone insane, would be seen as an opportunity for fun. He does not despair in the face of horror, but embraces it, further distorting it into his own chaotic narrative. Pennywise, who relies on breaking his victims' minds, would find in Joker someone whose mind is already completely outside any logical structure. Thus, Pennywise would need to adapt his strategy. He could try to exploit the environment around him, creating an atmosphere of chaos and collective fear. Attacking the people around Joker, like the citizens of Gotham, could be a way to weaken the DC villain, as mass chaos could, in theory, destabilize Joker. However, this plan would also have its flaws. Joker is known for manipulating collective hysteria for his own purposes. He is an agent of chaos, and the panic of a ruined city would only increase his power. At this point, Joker would take advantage of the fear generated by Pennywise to further increase chaos. He could encourage victims to fight each other, intensifying the destruction, or even incite more panic. This interaction would turn the confrontation into a battle where neither villain fights directly against the other, but both use the people around them as pawns in a game of manipulation. Pennywise, feeding off fear, and Joker, benefiting from chaos, would mutually benefit, albeit in different ways. If the battle evolved into a direct physical confrontation, Pennywise would still have the advantage of being a supernatural being with the ability to distort space and reality around him. His physical strength and ability to invoke illusions would make him extremely difficult to fight on a purely material level. However, Joker, with his unpredictability and mental resilience, would not give up easily. Even in the face of a superior physical threat, Joker would likely view the fight as a joke, which could frustrate Pennywise and make it harder for him to break his opponent mentally. Finally, this confrontation between terror and madness would not have a clear winner in conventional terms. Joker, with his resistance to psychological manipulation and ability to use chaos to his advantage, could prolong the battle indefinitely, while Pennywise would feed on the collective fear. Instead of a definitive winner, both villains could paradoxically end up collaborating implicitly, with Pennywise growing stronger through the terror he generates and Joker thriving on the chaos that terror provokes. They would become an unstoppable force of destruction, where fear and madness coexist, feeding off each other. In the end, the confrontation between Pennywise and Joker is not just a traditional physical fight, but a deep clash between two opposing psychological forces, fear and madness. Pennywise, who has always dominated his victims by exploiting their greatest fears, would encounter an insurmountable barrier in trying to break Joker's already distorted mind. What Pennywise cannot control or terrify, he cannot dominate, and Joker, with his immunity to conventional fear, would become one of his most frustrating victims. Joker laughs in the face of fear and turns terror into fuel for his chaos, making him an anomaly in the face of Pennywise's power. At the same time, Joker's true strength lies in his ability to manipulate chaos to his advantage. When confronted with the destruction caused by Pennywise's fear, Joker would be able to bend this chaotic situation to further promote disorder. Instead of being a victim of the terror Pennywise spreads, Joker would benefit from it, inciting mass panic and thus creating an endless cycle of chaos and fear. Gotham, or any city where this confrontation took place, would be engulfed by a storm of anarchy, where Pennywise's terror would fuel Joker's schemes. and Joker's chaos would amplify Pennywise's reach. The absence of a clear winner, therefore, becomes the central point of this theory. Pennywise cannot defeat Joker for the simple reason that Joker does not fear what Pennywise offers. On the other hand, Joker, without supernatural powers, would not be able to eliminate Pennywise, whose existence transcends the physical limitations of our world. The result would be a perverse balance, where both villains would coexist and complement each other in an implicit alliance. While Pennywise feeds on fear, Joker uses it to create chaos, and together they would become a destructive force where fear and madness coexist and intensify each other. Ultimately, the true legacy of a confrontation between Pennywise and Joker would be the total collapse of society around them. The collective terror amplified by chaos would result in an endless cycle of destruction, where no form of order or sanity could prevail. The line between fear and madness would disappear completely, and both Pennywise and Joker, each in their own way, would have achieved their ultimate goal: absolute domination through terror and chaos in a world that would never be the same again. Did you enjoy this theory between Pennywise and Joker? I hope it made you think and imagine what this meeting of fear and madness would be like. Now, if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, as it really helps the channel grow and brings more content like this. Oh, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos. I'll be leaving another video on the final screen about Pennywise, so see you next time.